All right, welcome back to episode 6, I think, of my journey back to 1000 elo. I played a few games the other day. Things went poorly, so we're just gonna walk through those quickly. Hopefully, I would prefer to not have this video be 45 minutes long. I might need to break it down into two. We'll see what happens, but I am playing against Lonely Ghost numbers. And right now, I don't even know what elo we're at. It says 931. I'm just going to go with that. I believe that is my elo after the game. So we are white. So we are playing the London. So we'll just get through those moves. I find that this version, or this, it's called the Tartakower. The defense that black is playing is frustrating to go up against as white. This square is a big deal, and he is definitely setting himself up to be able to move something there, whether it's a pawn or something else. And it really throws off the London. So we'll see where I start to make poor moves. So this move, again, I talked about this before, that is to block off my knight from coming here, but that's not what I want to do anyway. In the London, the knight always wants to go here. All right, I'm just finishing my development, and he attacks my bishop. Rude. So I move my bishop back. He moves out. He does not take this square, but I still can't go there because I don't really want to give up my knight. So I pushed my pawn. Oh, and it's saying to push that pawn. Ah, interesting. So if I were to push this pawn here, it's defended by my queen. So if he took, I take back with my queen, and then I have an attack on this bishop, which is not defended at all. And I don't know if there's a way other than bringing his queen into it that he could defend the bishop. Interesting. Never would have thought of that. Cool. He brings out his other pawn. I do the same thing. I don't really know what I was thinking in this game. One of my, overall concerns is this square because of the fried liver hippity hop of the horse. So I was trying to, cut that off while making it possible for my bishop to go here. I also, sorry, not my bishop, my knight. I also wanted to make sure that if he decided to, push that pawn and go like this to give me a check, that I was okay. So I think I was just trying something new. It's saying to push this pawn all the way up here, I guess, to break down that defense. Brings out his knight. I push that pawn finally. He made an inaccuracy. I could develop a piece. I mean, maybe this. Yep. That's what I did. So smart. Maybe. He takes back. Now, I can't move my horsey because it is pinned to my queen. So I think, oh, I'll just try and break down that defense there. It says to bring my horse here. To do what? I don't know. We'll see. And I did note as well, maybe a little late, that if he takes and I take, our queens see each other. So that is not great for me. I move there, also an inaccuracy. I was just trying to break the pin so that I could move my knight. Not there, here. At some point. They take. I take back. Our queens see each other. They take. I take with my bishop. And that is a great move. The only good move, I guess. Um, I take back. Why would I? All right, so doing this would give a check on the king, and they would either do this or this. I don't necessarily see how that helps me, but I'll respect the computer. All right, bringing out their bishop, hitting this pawn, which is free. They can just take it, move on with life. I liked this idea, but it's very easy to counter with that pawn move, which I believe is what, yeah, that's what they do. So now my rook is just kind of stuck there in the corner. Not doing a whole lot. I moved my king up to protect this pawn. Somehow that is an excellent move. This was not my best game. I'm being pretty hard on myself. They really want me to get my knight out, which makes sense. All right, so they castle, which opens that up. Nothing is defending that bishop. I decided to just put a knight in front of it, and if they wanted to go for it, I would get, good material. They push their pawn. So this move seemed like it could be good. I missed it by just a little bit, needed to move the bishop instead. But I need my rook in the game somehow. And moving this bishop would free up this rook to go over here and hang out and protect that rook. I don't know. Maybe that's what they're thinking. That's an inaccuracy, but I don't see why that's an issue, honestly. I guess it weakens their defense. It makes this guy a really prime target for me. So just maybe lining up this bishop here. Let's see if I saw that. No. I got some tunnel vision and really wanted to take out that bishop. So this is something that Gotham Chess calls danger levels. So you don't really have to move a piece if you're attacking something of equal or greater value. So I attack their bishop, they attack my horsey. That is a blunder. Why did I do that? I think I saw this fork. Oh, man. So now this diagonal is open completely. So taking with my pawn, they would end up taking either taking here or taking my horsey. And then I could just take there. That move really bums me out because they have an attack on this. Do they have an easy way of attacking my horse? I don't think so. So we'll see what they do. Oh, yeah. Yep. So, I mean, this is truly the beginning of the end for me. I make some desperation moves. I move my king out of the way, thinking I can attack there, leaving that wide open. Oh. Man, that didn't happen either. So I just want to try and get some material. They should definitely have taken that's just free. I put them in check, but that's a mistake. I should have taken their bishop. See, again, tunnel vision is a huge problem in chess. That is a blunder, I think, just because... Oh, it says it allows a fork? Which one? Oh, it'll tell me for sure. Yeah, so I did see this move because it forks that and that. But I chose this one for some reason. It's also a fork, but it forks those guys, and that's it. Yeah. Anyway. They move there. Dismiss is a great but hard to find move. I take their bishop, just wanting something. Again, I'm kind of feeling desperate right now. This is a great move. The only good move. I did it because it pins their horse to their king. And I didn't... Like, I find horses to be unpredictable. Sorry, they're called knights. I should use appropriate verbiage. They take with check. I just move away, which that leaves this wide open. But they didn't do it. It's probably a good reason. So they move back. I should have taken their pawn, which is totally free. I wanted to try and get one of their rooks, so I put my bishop in the way. They just moved their king out of the way. All right, so I take. They take. I move up, trying to stop this. Said it was a good move. They pushed their pawn forward. Nothing was really happening. I should have taken because my rook would have been protected and we could have traded and I would have been up a little bit of material, not a ton. They pushed forward, and this is a super common idea. And I started to freak out a little bit at this point. The idea is to protect your pawn, get it as far as you can, and then move your knight down here so that you're forced to trade. And then when you trade, they trade with the pawn, and they can move forward and promote. I saw this fork. I thought this was a smart idea. They will take, I will take, and this rook has to move. They did this instead, and this is where I had no real idea what to do. I noted that this rook can just move back down, guard that square from promotion. So I went for it. I noticed that. Oh, there was a way easier way. I could just use the king. Cool. So that happened. What am I doing? I feel like I'm watching a different human right now. I wanted to get in here, I guess. So they move their queen there. I move down. They go up and take my pawn, and I'm like, what am I gonna do now? And this forks my rook, puts me in check. I'm gonna lose my rook no matter what. And like I said before, usually resigning is a bad idea because people can make crazy blunders. I blundered every single thing. There was no way I was going to win. So I definitely lost a few rating points on that one. Next up, we have Karan 1332. And I skip a game that I played in here because I believe the other person was using some sort of assistance to do well. And I reported them, and I don't really want to put their name out there or anything like that. So just going to move on. I'm white, so I'm playing the London. We'll just get into, and this knight move, man, it bums me out. It's just so sad. I talked about this, I think, in the last video, if not for sure in this series at some point. You have no vision with the knight there. Just move the knight here or here. Maybe move your bishop out first, but get your knight in the center so that it can actually do something. And again, it's telling me to move my pawn there. I've never even considered that so early on in the London. It just seems bad because they will take, and I can't take back yet. I don't know. All right, so they develop their knight. I develop my knight. This knight is good here because it protects that pawn. They bring their knight in, and I'm like, oh man, What now? What what's gonna happen? So I just decide to push my pawn forward, completing my little chain. They attack this pawn. I shore up that pawn, so if they take, I can take back and my structure is not damaged. They said taking is best. I just don't like having a big hole right in the middle of the board. So I usually don't do that. They bring their queen in so that I can't take with this pawn because it's pinned. They said bringing the knight there is important. I wanted to unpin this pawn, so I brought my knight there. And this is a blunder because this misses an opportunity to trade pieces. Knight to d2. So they're just saying take, and I will take. Yeah. Or I probably honestly would do that instead of using the queen. And I should have taken. I just didn't like that they would take, and I would have to move my knight up because it would be under attack. So I decided to attack their queen instead. My thought process was if they take, I take, the queen is in danger from the rook that opened up. They just retreat. Oh yeah, and this pawn is quite weak now. So I check their king. I note that these two pawns are quite advanced, so they can't just push one forward. They're going to have to move something in front of it of, actual value, like an actual piece. They move their bishop back. I take. They take. And now I decide to take. Should have, I guess, just taken the knight. They take, and I have no way of taking back, and my queen is under attack right now. So I move my queen, and I see that if their queen moves, I have a few things that I could potentially attack. I'm just basically pressuring different parts of the board right now. They move their knight back. My castle. Should have moved my knight here. It attacks their queen, forces it to move. Then I would, unless they move it like here. How do I do this? There. There. But I could just keep attacking. But I would get a pawn. So I'd be up a little bit, some points. I want to protect this pawn for some reason, so I move my rook over. They move their rook over. And I finally jump in, attacking their queen. All right, so they take, and I imagine I take, which leaves a nice little hole here. They pull their queen over. I move my knight, and I did not do this check for some reason. Would that have helped me? Yeah, so I guess if they do this move, I can take with my horsey. And if they move their queen, I can just trade queens. I'm up material, so that makes sense. Just retreat the knight. I move my bishop here because it's protected by the knight. My hope is that, I can confuse them into taking their queen. Let's see if it works. Oh. It did. So, I have a queen, they don't. Let's see if I can actually win this one. So this is a really nice fork. Hitting both of my horsies. figured I would, get something for a horse. But they didn't take. And this is a fork here, but they can just take. And then I can take back. And then it threatens the horsey. But it also opens both rooks up. There's just so much that happens in chess, and it gets really stressful. So I definitely sacrifice my what is going on here? Whatever. The saying I made a mistake doesn't make that much sense to me in this particular situation because I got a rook for a horse. But this is completely undefended, I suppose. It's okay. Now it's defended, so that move is going to stop being recommended, I imagine. So I bring my knight in, not really attacking anything right now, but I'm trying to set up a better position. And also, it's guarding that those squares. I mean, it's guarding more than just those, but it's guarding those squares. Oh, I think there's a lot of game left, but I know what my thought was, and I totally just blew it there. But my thought was, if I can get the knight here, I can take and then possibly checkmate, depending on how they move. Instead, I push my pawn with a similar idea in mind. If they don't take, queen goes in, and it's probably going to be checkmate. I think it would be checkmate in 2. Right now, I have mate in 6, but there's no way I'm going to see mate in 6. So this is attacking this pawn. That was, the best move. They should have pushed that pawn to protect it. I go in and take that pawn. And I know now, I don't have a ton of ideas for how to proceed. But, it's mate in 1. How many moves are left? 8? Oh, no. Mate in 1. What would it be? This is not it. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, words are hard today. Here? Can't go there, can't go there, can't go there, can't go there. Yep. So I just completely overlooked it. Moving my queen there is mate in 1. Man. Well, instead of that, I decided to bring my queen there, which allows the king to move. But this is mate in 1 too. What am I doing? What is wrong with me? Oh, heavens. So then I have to try and figure out how to mate in a weird, convoluted way. So, and I just wanted pieces. What is, dude? What am I doing? What are you doing? Okay, well, finally, after way too many moves, I found a checkmate. Man. All this goes to show, sometimes chess is hard, and especially if you're not playing well on a certain day, you just make tons of mistakes over and over and over. What was my accuracy? 68. We'll round up. No, let's not. Bummer. That is definitely going to be all I have time for today. So, thanks for watching. I should have another episode out tomorrow if I can find some time today to record. If not, I apologize. But I'm trying to be as consistent as possible. I have all these videos set to post at 3 so that you're not distracted during school. Because you shouldn't have your phones out at school anyway. Anyway, thanks again. Enjoy your days. Play some chess. Let me know if you have any questions. And that is all. Peace.